Why Sigma males don't fear death. Now, this isn't just about facing mortality. It's about the mindset, the spiritual connection, and the unshakable confidence that allows Sigma males to live without fear of the ultimate unknown. They're not interested in the superficial chatter that fills the air at social gatherings. They'd rather be alone with their thoughts, wrestling with the big questions, pondering the mysteries of life and death. They have an insatiable curiosity that drives them to understand the world around them and themselves on a much deeper level than most. Sigma males are not afraid to stand alone, to be different, to be misunderstood. They're comfortable in their own skin, regardless of how the world perceives them. They don't seek validation from others, but find it within themselves. This independent nature, this disregard for societal norms, gives them a unique perspective on life and death. So why don't Sigma males fear death? It's not because they're reckless or have a death wish. It's because they have a deep understanding of life, of its fleeting nature, of its inherent uncertainty. To them, death is not an end, but a part of the journey, a part of the cycle of life. Now, let's dive into the enigmatic minds of Sigma males to understand why they don't fear death. Sigma males have a unique, solitary view of life. They navigate the world in a distinct, often misunderstood manner, preferring to be lone wolves rather than part of a pack. Their perspective on life is shaped by their preference for solitude and their self-sufficiency, both of which are integral to their character. Sigma males are the epitome of independence. They are self-reliant and self-sufficient, not relying on others for validation or support. They carve their own paths, not because they despise society or its norms, but rather they feel more comfortable and authentic in their own company. This independence affects their view on life profoundly. They see life as a journey of self-exploration and growth, rather than a social race. Personal growth is a high priority for Sigma males. They're always seeking to learn, improve, and evolve. They're not driven by external factors such as social status or material success. Instead, they are motivated by a deep desire for self-improvement and self-realization. They value knowledge, wisdom, and personal development over superficial achievements. This quest for continuous growth contributes to their unique perspective on life. Inner peace is another significant aspect of a Sigma male's life perspective. They strive for tranquility and balance within themselves, valuing peace of mind over societal approval. They understand that happiness and contentment come from within, not from external validation. This inner peace allows them to remain detached and objective, helping them to navigate life's challenges with calm and equanimity. So what does this mean for their view on mortality? Sigma males' preference for solitude, their self-sufficiency, their quest for personal growth, and their pursuit of inner peace all shape their perspective on life and consequently death. They see life as a journey of self-discovery and personal development, a journey that is inherently solitary and introspective. But how does this perspective translate into their view on death? Let's find out. Death, the final frontier, yet Sigma males seem unfazed by it. But why? This question may seem puzzling to many, but for Sigma males, the answer is quite simple. Death, in their perspective, is not a terrifying end, but rather a natural part of life, a stage we all inevitably reach. You see, Sigma males are known for their introspective nature. They are the lone wolves, the thinkers, the ones who prefer solitude over social gatherings. Their time alone allows them to dive deep into their thoughts, to ponder upon the mysteries of life and, yes, death. In the quiet corners of their minds, they confront mortality head-on. They do not shy away from it, nor do they let it consume them with fear. Instead, they approach it with a sense of understanding and acceptance. They see it for what it truly is, an integral part of the cycle of life. For Sigma males, death is a transition, a change, like the changing of seasons or the setting of the sun. It is not something to dread or fear, but rather something to accept, to understand, and perhaps, in a certain light, to appreciate. They perceive death as a reminder of the transient nature of life, a nudge to live each day fully and authentically, It encourages them to seize the day, to embrace the present moment, and to make the most out of the time they have been given. This perspective doesn't come from a place of recklessness or apathy, but rather from a deep understanding of life's ephemeral nature. It's a perspective that allows them to live life fearlessly, not because they are unafraid of death, but because they understand its inevitability and choose to live despite it. In a world that often lives in fear of death, Sigma males stand out. They choose to face it, to understand it, and to accept it. They see it not as a dreadful end, but as a natural part of life's journey. They do not let the fear of death dictate their lives, but instead use it as a reminder to live fully and authentically. Sigma males understand that death is not a full stop, but a comma in the grand narrative of existence. They see it as a part of the journey, a chapter in the book of life that we all must face. It's this understanding and acceptance of death that allows them to live their lives fearlessly and authentically. Sigma males view death not as an end, but as a part of the journey. They accept it, they understand it, and in doing so they are able to live their lives to the fullest, unencumbered by the fear of the inevitable. This, in essence, is the Sigma male's perspective on death. Sigma males approach death with the same quiet confidence they approach life. This statement carries a depth that could make the most stoic philosopher pause. But what does it mean? How does a Sigma male approach the concept of death? Sigma males, the introverted, independent souls of society, approach death with a sense of acceptance. They understand that death is a natural part of life, an inevitable conclusion to the human experience. This acceptance is not born out of apathy or indifference, but rather a profound understanding of the cyclical nature of existence. Just as the sun sets only to rise again, Sigma males see death as a transition, a shifting of energy rather than a definitive end. This understanding of death as a part of life, rather than its adversary, allows them to approach it without fear. Fear of death often stems from a fear of the unknown or a resistance to change. However, Sigma males, with their introspective nature and capacity for deep thought, have contemplated this unknown and found peace within it. They accept death as a part of their journey, not as an abrupt halt, but as a stepping stone into a new realm of existence. But acceptance is just one facet of their approach. Sigma males also use the concept of death as a motivation to live their lives fully and authentically. They understand that life is transient, that each moment is fleeting. This understanding pushes them to make the most of each day, to live in the present, and to pursue their passions with fervor. They don't want to reach the end of their lives with regrets or unanswered what-ifs. Instead, they strive to live a life that is true to who they are, a life that, when they look back, they can be proud of. The focus on the present moment is another key aspect of how Sigma males approach death. They don't waste their energy worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. Instead, they invest their time and energy in the here and now. This focus on the present moment allows them to fully experience life, to savor each experience, and to form deeper, more meaningful connections with the world around them. It also influences their lack of fear towards death. After all, if you're fully engaged in the present, there's no room left to fear the future. In conclusion, Sigma males approach death with acceptance, using it as a motivation to live life fully and authentically, while focusing on the present moment. This unique approach allows them to live life without the fear of death looming over them. For Sigma males, death is not a dread but a reminder to live. They navigate through life with the understanding that each moment is precious, that life is fleeting, and that death is not an end but a transition. This understanding, this approach to death, is a testament to the depth and complexity of the Sigma male's psyche. So, how does a Sigma male's view on death compare to others? Well, let's dive into the comparison. Picture an alpha male, the typical leader of the pack. Alphas are often driven by their ego, their status, and their desire to be the best. Their perspective on death is often linked to their legacy. They fear death to some extent because it means the end of their reign, the cessation of their influence. Now consider the beta male. Betas are usually the supporters, the team players. They often worry about death because it could mean leaving their loved ones behind. They fear the unknown, the uncertainty that death brings. But what about our Sigma males? They don't fear death, not because they are reckless or indifferent, but because they understand it as a natural part of life. They see death not as an end, but as a transition. It's this perspective that sets them apart from the alphas and betas. To illustrate this, let's imagine a scenario. 3 men, an alpha, a beta, and a sigma, are faced with a life-threatening situation. The alpha might try to dominate the situation, to control it, driven by the fear of losing his status, his power. The beta, on the other hand, might panic or seek support, driven by fear of the unknown, of leaving his loved ones behind. The sigma? He remains calm and composed. He assesses the situation objectively, not driven by fear, but by understanding. He knows that death is a part of life and accepts that he can't control everything. This acceptance isn't born out of apathy, but out of a profound understanding of the nature of life and death. But don't mistake this acceptance for passivity. Sigma males are not passive observers of life. They are active participants who choose their battles wisely. They don't waste their energy on things they can't control, like death. Instead, they focus on living their life on their own terms. There's a saying that goes, "Do not fear death so much, but rather the inadequate life." Sigma males embody this. They don't fear death because they are focused on living a fulfilling life. They understand that the quality of life isn't measured by its length, but by its depth. This is not to say that Sigma males are superior or that everyone should strive to be a Sigma. Each personality type has its strengths and weaknesses, its unique perspectives. But understanding these differences can help us appreciate the diversity of human experiences. By comparing the Sigma male's perspective on death with that of the Alpha and Beta males, we can see how their unique outlook contributes to their fearlessness towards death. They understand that death is a part of life, an inevitable transition, and this understanding frees them from the fear of the unknown. As we can see, Sigma males truly stand apart in their view on death. Sigma males, intriguing, isn't it? We've embarked on a fascinating journey exploring the enigma that is the Sigma male, a figure that strays from societal norms and expectations. It's like they've read the rule book and decided to play an entirely different game. We've delved into their distinctive perspective on life, a perspective that's free from the constraints of societal expectations, allowing them to navigate the world on their own terms. This unique viewpoint extends to their understanding of death, something they perceive not as an end, but as a natural part of existence. It's as if they've cracked the code, understanding that fearing death is like fearing the sunset. Both are inevitable, both are natural, and both carry their own unique beauty. Sigma males approach death with an equanimity that's almost enviable. They don't see it as a dreaded end, but rather as a part of their journey. It's this understanding that allows them to live fearlessly, embracing every moment, every experience with an open heart and a curious mind. They're like the explorers of old, setting sail into the unknown with a twinkle in their eye and a thirst for knowledge that's insatiable. We've seen how the Sigma male's perspective compares to the mainstream. While others might dread the idea of mortality, Sigma males view it with a sense of calm acceptance. Their approach is not about being reckless or dismissive of life. On the contrary, it's about embracing life in all its forms, understanding that every moment is precious and that death is simply a part of this grand adventure we call life. In the end, Sigma males teach us a valuable lesson: to live life fearlessly, embracing death as a part of the journey, not the end. Their unique perspective encourages us to step out of our comfort zones, to question the norm, and to live our lives in a way that's true to ourselves. Because isn't that what life is all about? Living authentically, fearlessly, passionately, just like a Sigma male.